So we are currently at Breman Jamara DA Basic School, and this is where 6 years ago the unfortunate occurrence where 6 kindergarten school pupils were killed. I mean, the building they called classroom collapsed on them and their lives were snuffed out. 6 years on, that building has been completed, but there is another building here that is a death trap. The children have their hearts in their mouth whenever they enter this building. So look at the footings of this building. All of these things are removing gradually. They are being removed and the building shakes visibly. Get here. This place shakes. As soon as you hit it slightly, then it shakes. It threatens to break away from the entire structure. So the kids do play. And unfortunately, if any of them should lean on this wall, then the unfortunate thing would happen. Now, when it rains, rain seeps through the roofing heavily, and so classes have to be disrupted. Academic activities have to come to a halt. The school pupils have been telling us that they feel unsafe. They are afraid for their lives whenever it rains, because when it rains, the entire building shakes very well, and they feel threatened, and they have the unfortunate occurrence 6 years ago on the back of their mind that something could happen. So what have you been learning today?
It is dangerous for us to learn in. When the rain enters the classroom will be very dirty here. So we don't want this class again. We want a new one. So we don't want this class, we want the other one there. We please them to help us this new building so that we can live comfortably in that new room.
Because when it is raining, our ceiling will be removing. The water will be coming inside this room, so we don't want this class again. We want a new one. We feel shaking. When the rain is falling, we feel shaking, we fear, so that the building will break in. So we want the government to build another school for us. We are telling them to come and help us to build the room, because we are begging them to come and help us to build the building.
Fortunately, the multimedia group decided to embark on a project and then build a classroom structure that could accommodate the kids. In fact, the kids are crammed in classrooms, and it makes academic work very, very difficult. So this is the entire structure that multimedia has been working on, and it has gotten to the roof level, and we need your support. We need the support of the entire country. We cannot wait for any calamity to befall kids yet again in the name of accessing education. And that is why this project ought to be completed, so that the kids can move in from the dilapidated structure they currently call the classroom into this new one. 60,000 Ghana cedis. Building would be completed and ready to be handed over to the school.
At the moment, we are at the roofing stage, and all we need is the roof members to come, and then the sheet will be on it. Then we'll do the ceiling joint, get the doors and the windows fixed. Then we come to a final stage where the tiling will come, and then also the jointing and pointing for this finishing will come. Then we are done. So at the moment, if I have to estimate, I would say we are like 70% done. We're just left about 30%. But the energy is not coming, and we need help to be able to rescue these innocent kids. Because some of us dedicated our time and energy and our knowledge, wisdom, and then this technology to come in and support. It costs me a lot, but it doesn't amount to human life. I mean, if I go to bed always getting scared that what if something happens to these kids, they will go like, they started but they couldn't complete it.
That's what is keeping you on.
Yes, that is what is giving me the energy to still try to push so that we can get this done and then hand it over to the community. Because these kids, look, the last time I was here, when we were on site, when it started raining, before I could say Jack, the kids, all of them came into the corridor just because they were scared that the roof of the structure could be lifted off.
How much are we talking about here?
Like I said, if I should do rough estimate, we need a little under 60,000 because you're talking about the woodworks for the roof itself. We need a sheet, we need the windows and the doors faced. You understand? And then workmanship, and then we need a ceiling or everything. That amount should be able to sort us out.
So I am appealing to you to help us, the multimedia group, to help with this project. Help us contribute your quota so that we will not be visited with any disaster. We will not come here to be reporting disasters, but we will be coming here to be reporting about the successes chalked by these students because they need to also study in environments like their peers, like their counterparts in other parts of the country. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejonya, Breman Jamara.
And that has to do with our classroom projects. My colleague there, Richard Kwejonya, telling us about that incident in Breman Jamara and our endeavor with your support to put up new classroom facilities there. Joining me in the studio, we have our very own Emefa Atiamwa Ellie, who has been on this beat from day one. Emefa, a very good morning to you. Thank you for joining the conversation.
Good morning, Ben, and thanks so much for having me.
So tell us what the latest is. Richard has set the tone for the conversation.
Exactly.
What's the latest in terms of this project? What's the latest development?
The latest is that we still need more materials to be able to complete the project. That's because some of them, right from the start of the project, we couldn't have acquired them and kept them till now. Right. Talking about the wood and the roofing sheets and others, we needed to get to a certain stage before you start buying those things. But you and I know that times have changed. Prices of materials have gone up. And so our projections regarding the cost of these materials have gone up. That means that we'd have to revise our budget.
We projected and the dollar rate and everything changed.
Exactly, and it's really hitting hard on this project. And over some time, work has been a bit slow. That's because, yes, quite a number of people have promised. But then, you know, it's one thing promising and another than redeeming. So we have had to wait on them to redeem their promises. Unfortunately, they are not responding as we expected. That does not mean that we should sit and fold our arms. We need to still get the work going. That's why we are here today.
And I'm sure on the back of the economic downturn and everything, people would have made promises, but we also see the inflationary rate and everything. It's impacting them, but we have to push further.
Exactly.
Because this project must be done.
Exactly.
So tell us, what more do we need? Is it roofing sheets? Is it cement? What more do we need?
At the moment, we are at the roofing stage. So the wood is being laid on, the trusses is being laid so that they can put the sheets on it. We do not have adequate wood. The money we have to be able to buy the amount of wood we need to do the work is so inadequate. So far, as you can see in that video, that's all we've been able to do for now. And so we need more money. At least we need nothing less than 60,000 Ghana cedis to finish with the roof. And then we come to the doors, the windows, and you want to do the floor and put in furniture for all of that. And most of the support we have had so far has been in the form of cash and kind donation, as much as you can. We know that there are people who are already into these kind of materials, as in maybe they are selling or they produce them. So what we are asking is that in whatever way you can support the classroom project, this structure is a self-help project. We are only giving the two communities, that's the Breman Jamara and Tolon, the platform to be able to support, to solicit support for them. It's not like multimedia is building. We are using our platform because if you watch a story told by Jojo yesterday, Ghana Schools of Shame,
right,
it paints a picture of a very gloomy situation when it comes to the educational infrastructure deficits in the country. And this is one way as a company we are helping solve the problem. We might not be able to do everything, but we are saying that the little you can as an individual do or to support to be able to fix these challenges, it will go a long way to help school children across the country. The facility we are putting up,
right,
not less than 700 children are going to benefit from these.
700
school children are going to benefit from these structures. And so you wouldn't want to sit back. Kojo Naku said it rightly. Right from Breman Jamara, we heard a story about children dying because of bad classroom structure. We do not want to hear that story again. We can't sit and watch. And so we are asking that as much as you can help, the little you can do, you can give us roofing sheets if you are into doors, if you are into furniture, if you are into anything. I mean, we still need a little amount of cement, you know, just for the finishing work, the floor, the veranda and all of that. We'll be very grateful. That's where we are now.
So you mentioned that we need nothing less than 60,000 Ghana cedis,
Exactly.
at least to progress with work.
Yes.
But how much have we garnered so far?
Cash-wise, I'm unable to give you exact figure, but then from the top of my head, I know that right from the start, we got some support from DBS
roofing,
yes,
right.
And so they wanted to support in terms of, but the amount they gave us cash instead of the sheets. They gave us cash. They gave us 20,000 Ghana cedis, and that was like a year ago. That's the space is a 7-space structure, 3 classroom block plus a library, an ICT center, staff common room.
So in other words, with the fluctuation in the currency, the 20,000 has eroded in terms of value.
Yes, we also got some form of support from Gapoha, okay, to be able to get some more, cement to finish with the work. That we've been able to do. Forestry Commission also supported us right from the start of the work with the wood we needed to do, the foundation and every other woodwork you need right from raising the superstructure. And that we have exhausted. We have had, Israeli embassy also supporting us cash-wise to be able, and it's some of the services, for instance, when it came to the bricklaying, we needed professionals to do that. So in that regard, you can't use communal labor as we had from the community. We had to engage
professionals to do it.
These people were from outside the community. In that case, you would have to pay them. So most of those funds went into those expenditure. And there are some other minor expenditure that you needed to pay for. So technically, we have exhausted all of those funds. Some have also given, the district assembly also gave us sand. Most of the sand we needed right from the start till dates, they have been providing us with sand. But we are saying that just as you can see the structure on the screen, we still need more to be able to finish it. That's the situation.
And so even more is required to bring this to some conclusion. But I'd like to find out, the old structure, I saw Richard Kojo Naku, go around the old structure. Is it still in use?
Somehow, which is very risky.
Because he spoke about how shaky it was and it's visibly eroded. It's being eaten away.
In the middle of last year, there was this time construction was ongoing and the children were on break. One of them went to lean against a portion of the block. It almost cracked on him, in fact, fell on him.
Wow.
It took the timely intervention of the site engineer, the gentleman who spoke in the story, to save the situation. It was so dangerous. The building you see there, yes, you can see some kind of roof and like shade, but it's not safe. It's not safe. It used to be a 6 classroom block. They have collapsed the 3 of the classrooms, so now it is left with 3, meaning that they are cramming more pupils into the remaining space than usual, which is not supposed to be. The space is a cluster of schools, and so there are different. That also tells you the number of children, school-going age children in the community who need a safe learning environment to be able to get proper quality education. And you do not want to close your eyes over it. You don't want to say that because there is no space, some children should sit home or they should just watch. No. As much as possible, you want to give everyone the opportunity to be able to learn. Yes, you and I, we are not governments. But the truth of the matter is that government cannot do it all. We spoke with the Ministry of Education yesterday. The spokesperson was talking about how government has been trying to fix the furniture deficit across the schools. When you look at the figures it's given, it's woefully inadequate. There's more to be done. And the question is, how long are we going to wait for government to be able to satisfy all these schools in terms of what they need to be able to get the best education they need?
And that's why corporate entities must also come in.
Yes,
and this is our own little way of doing some CSR, apart from all the other things
exactly.
we do. So moving forward, the 60,000, how soon do we need it? I want us to know the that state of urgency of the situation. Of course, if those old buildings are practically caving in and the children are back in school shortly, it means it's pretty urgent. How soon do we need?
Ben, school has reopened. That means that there are children who are starting school, who are being enrolled. And the block you are seeing is a JHS block. So what happens if your ward has to go to JHS 1, JHS 2, and you get there and they say there's space, there's no vacancy?
They turn you away.
Exactly. And this is not your, how would I say, a cosmopolitan kind of community or a highbrow community. So if you don't make such facility available in such a community, where else would the children go to get education? That is how serious and urgent it is. School has just reopened. There are quite a number of these school children who need the space to sit and to learn, but it's just inadequate. It's just inadequate. So it's very urgent. We need as soon as possible so that we can enable all of those children who are waiting to get the space to sit and to learn. And not just any space, but a safer learning environment.
A decent space in which to, a decent and safe space in which to learn. I'd also like to find out, to those who promised and have not yet redeemed their promises, what would be your message to them?
So I want to believe probably they've forgotten how to make their
this is a reminder
available to us. There's a Momo account, a special Momo number for this project, which is an MTN number I'd like to share. It's 05930388832. I'll take that again. It's 0593038832.
It's also on your screen.
Yes.
Currently, you can.
It's an MTN number, and the name of the account is the Multimedia Group Limited. Feel free to send whatever form of donation, just in case you are not comfortable using the Momo transaction and you'd like to do direct engagement. You might want to call 0242 161570, 0242 161570. Alternatively, maybe you'd want to go to the bank and make a bank transfer. The number is, the bank is Access Bank Ghana Limited, the Castle Road branch, Accra. And the account number is 00901-010-54191. I'll repeat that, 00901-010-54191. Access Bank Ghana Limited.
And that account number is also on our screens. Yes. We're looking forward to hearing from you, supporting us. We've taken the initiative on the back of your support to give a new school building block, not just a building, a block to the Breman Jamara and Tolon communities. MFA Atiamwaeli, thank you so much for joining us for the conversation and for the good work you're doing on behalf of those communities.
I'm honored. Thank you.
So we take a little breather here. When we return, we'd like to find out from you, what is your take on this situation? For example, our schools, many of them without desks, some children studying under trees. Yes, we still have a lot of those. We'd also be engaging you on your thoughts, especially on utility tariffs. Electricity up by almost 30%, 29.69% thereabouts. Water by 8.3%. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to your pocket? We'll be taking your comments right after the break.